Are you looking for a way to get out of your job and finally pursue your coaching career? Well, you're on the right video because today I am answering the question from Elizabeth where she asked, how do I go from doing a job that does really well to going and do and pursue my life goal, which is to become a life coach? Now, before you get to the answer to this question, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because every single week we post new videos like this where we share some very useful tips, strategies that you can use to be able to impact your clients more or to be able to grow and scale your coaching business. So you would want to know more and more about that. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button and let's roll it. So Elizabeth asked me a really important question. How do I go from working in a job to becoming a life coach? Which may be a question that is in your mind, and which is why you're watching this video really, is how do you go from doing a job to really becoming a coach? And how do you really take those steps? And what are the right steps to take so you don't feel overwhelmed about the security of the job that you might have and the insecurity of the new career that you might have? Well, I have just the right steps for you. Let's get it going. Step one is to find your minimum livable income. Minimum livable income simply is how much money do you need to be able to comfortably live. It doesn't mean minimally live, like where you have to live on like noodle boxes or something, but comfortably live, where you are able to go for the drinks that you want to go for, you want to get the coffee that you want to get, and be able to eat the meal which feels nourishing and healthy, right? So first, identify what's the minimal livable income. How do you know that? Write your ideal lifestyle right now, not the ambition of the future, but the lifestyle that you want right now, and write down rough expenses of each of those items and go, this is how much I spend in restaurants, this is how much I spend on coffee, this is how much I spend on groceries, and so on and so forth, rent and other things. Once you've had that list ready, total that amount up and see how much that adds up to. This is also a great way to really take inventory of your finances right now, because you will find that there are certain things that you may be overspending on. But anyways, I digress.
Just ignore what just happened, okay?
Let's go back to finding our minimal livable income. Once you have that list, see if that list feels good, like anything that we've missed out, anything that we may like to add, or something that we may be overstretching a little bit and we want to take it out. Once you've cleaned up this list, total this amount up. Once you know the amount, now you have your minimum livable income. Take that number. Let's use 100,000 just as a number that we can always reflect back on and come back to saying, this is the amount of money that I need to minimally live for the year. Of course, this is not for the month. And we're going to use this number so it helps us really do the math along the way for the rest of the video. So $100,000, that's what you need as your minimum livable income through the course of a year. Now, this number, $100,000, is useful because now you know what is that number or what is that income that you need to achieve for you to be able to comfortably say, I can quit my job. So if you were making $100,000 in your coaching practice, would it make your current job obsolete in some way because you're kind of making the same amount of money that you need for minimum livable income? Now, this number might be much less, like 100,000 is the number that we're working with just for math's sake. So let's firstly identify what our minimum livable income is, because once we know that number, we know what number we need to achieve in our coaching business to find the comfort and certainty towards actually switching careers completely. Right? So now we have the number, let's take step two. Step two is to find the packages that you could be selling that would add up to $100,000. Now, this is not a perfect world and we don't have to find the perfect ecosystem, but what you want to find is what would be your package prices roughly be, and what you roughly will be doing there to be able to come up with an estimation of how many of these packages would you need to be able to sell to 100,000. So say, for example, let's say there's only one package that you have. It is $2,000 and you work with a client for 2 months in that money. If that was the package, you would say, I need about 50 clients to be able to achieve my $100,000. But say if your package was $10,000, what may happen is you might say, well, I only need 10 clients to achieve my $100,000. The reason why we want to find what packages and what price point those packages should be is because once you know that, it helps us with step 3, which is knowing how many clients do we need. Once we know our minimum livable income, what we're really trying to do is we're trying to find a pathway to get to that income. How many do you need to achieve your minimum livable income? Now, if you don't know how to draft packages or what packages are, we'll link up videos that will help you learn more of that you can go after this video and check out. So now let's go back to the math. $100,000, we have packages that says $2,000. Step 3, how many clients do I need? In this scenario, 50 clients. That will add up to $100,000. Then comes the next step. How many people do we need to be able to engage 50 clients, to be able to enroll 50 clients and work with us? How many people do we need to engage with? How many people do we need to talk with? Right? The reason why you want that number is because it gives you directionally how much work is it going to require for us to get to this particular number, right? So let's say to get 50 clients, I probably need to talk to, say, 200 people. If I engage with 200 people and 25% of them say yes to working with me, I'm going to end up with 50 clients. This gives me a really solid number to actually go after. Now I can actually say that I have 200 people that I need to actively work with to be able to engage them powerfully enough that they are willing to have a coaching contract with me, right? So now I've got 200 conversations or engagements that I need to do over the course of, say, 1 year, if my transition time is about a year, so I can enroll 50 clients at $2,000 each, making $100,000, giving me the safety and security to really know that can I transition from my job to my coaching career. But knowing how many people to engage with is only step 4. Step 5 is to actually having a methodology. See, until now, all the work we have done on paper, but the moment we go from the paper to actual work in the world, we're gonna need real ways to be able to create an impact, to be able to create a change, to be able to really move somebody from a place of challenge or ambition to actually getting the outcomes that they want, or even better outcomes than what they want. So what you need to do next is step 5 is identify your methodology. How is it that you create results for your clients? Because without having clarity towards that, it'll be much harder for you to engage anybody in a conversation that will lead to any enrollment. Clients are not signing up with you because you are a coach. They're signing up with you because they want a result. And because of that, they need to know what is the way that you are going to create that result for them. And so they need to experience it, they need to see it, they need to be with it. And for all of that, you need to be clear. How do you create that impact? What is your methodology? Now, at EverCoach, we teach many different methodologies developed by many phenomenal teachers. If you'd like to check them out, we're gonna link them up below. Go ahead and check out some free masterclasses on evercoach.com that will actually show you how to use these different methodologies to your benefit. Step 6, as you've learned these methodologies, you need to go out and practice these methodologies. You can't just take a theoretical course and hope that now you're a really great coach. That's just not how it works. You need to go out in the world and actually practice it. Practice it with free clients, practice it with paid clients. The keyword being practice. Go out in the world, practice, enhance this methodology, make yourself be really good at what you do. So when you go out in the world to create enrollments, to get clients, you're not constrained by the quality of the product. The quality of the product, which is your service, which is your coaching, has to be top notch. You may go, Ajit, where do I have the time to do all of this practice? Which is step 6.1. What you want to do is you want to do these activities, this practice, in extra time. Extra time is when you are traveling to work. Extra time is when it's after hours, after your work is over. Extra time is weekends. This is extra time when you're not engaged in your primary activity. You want to invest that time in learning, in practice, in getting yourself educated towards how to develop a really good methodology and then develop it too. So go ahead and write down in your calendar the extra time that you have in your life right now so you can go ahead and start learning methodologies at that time and practicing methodologies at that time. And once you have practiced, once you have learned, once you have gone out in the world and had those 200 conversations and enroll those 50 clients and start to see your revenue trickle into the minimum livable income that you had initially decided for yourself in step 1, well, you're ready. Go ahead and submit those papers of resignation so you can finally, in the next 1 or 2 months, become the coach that you always wanted to be. So 7 steps to really be able to go from a stage of having a job to becoming a coach. Step 1 is find your minimum livable income. Step 2, design packages that you will need to get to minimum livable income. Step 3, find out how many clients you need to get to this number. Step 4, define the number of people you need to engage with to enroll these clients. Step 5, identify your methodology. Step 6, practice your methodology and become really good at it. Step 7, change your career from being somebody in a job to being the coach that you always wanted to be. I'm sure you enjoyed this video, so go ahead and hit the subscribe button so we can notify you next time we post a video. Let me know which step you are at in the comment section below. I'll love to know where you are in your journey and how we can support more of it. Thank you so much for watching. This is Ajit, and I'll see you next week.